Good morning, friends. I was thinking that some of you might be curious about what I do in a day now, since I quit my corporate job. So I was thinking that I'll just bring you along today. And right now, time is 9:06. I'd say it's quite typical time for me to wake up. I like to just sleep in, not setting an alarm. Because I feel like for so many years I have just forced my body to wake up earlier than I might have needed. So it's really nice to be able to just sleep for as long as my body wants and then just slowly have a little slow morning after that and have my little morning routine. And this is also sick, like I haven't had a morning routine in so many years. I think I've never had a morning routine more than waking up, taking a shower and just going to work directly. Or my morning routine have been waking up, taking a shower, meditate for 10 minutes and then run to the subway. Sometimes I'll take the meditation on the subway because I'm always late. But right now I'm trying to have more of a slow morning, just drinking my tea in my own pace and just being before I start to work. Okay, so each morning I sit down and I meditate for a bit and then I reflect and I write down what I'm grateful for from the day before, like three or four things. And then I also write down my intention for the day. So for me today, I want to do this vlog today in a way so that I feel like I'm talking to a friend. Because that's a goal that I have in general, that I want to have a close connection to you. And I also wrote that I want to do this low effort because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, or at least I want to do a really, really good job most of the time. And I don't want this to be like an extra burden. I want to do this because I want it to be fun. And then in general today, just working with good enough because I have some things that I need to fix. Yeah, that's the intention for today. Okay, so I spontaneously also just sent out a little story on my Instagram. I can link my Instagram below. I was just thinking that it would be fun to answer some questions that you might have about my situation now. So I just threw out the question and we'll see if anything comes in. I'd say that my work days differ quite a lot. I try to tune in with my energy in the morning and then adapt to what I want to accomplish for this week. Some days I film for the video I'm making, some days I script for it. I have written down certain processes that I often use and I constantly iterate them to fit myself and my needs even better. But otherwise, this is what I try to answer through this video. So watch it till the end and you will get your answer. Okay, so these ones are the to-dos that I want to finish today. Let's see here. So I've also come up with a system. I don't know if I maybe can animate it here, but when the dot is filled, it's about work. When it's half full, it's about something like life admin thing that I need to do. And then I have the clear dot, which is a to-do that I want to do only for myself and my own health and well-being. So usually during the days, I try to have one of each. And then I can write more on the to-do list, but I need to prioritize one in each section. So today I want to brainstorm a thumbnail for my video tomorrow. I want to write down the script because I usually have like half scripted videos. Sometimes they're very spontaneous, but I want to try to do a script for the one tomorrow. So that's a thing that I want to do. And then I want to publish a reel or a carousel on my Instagram and LinkedIn and my other social medias that are directing to my YouTube. And then I need to read a little bit about having your own business, because I'm meeting my aunt later today about that. And then for myself, I also have one that I want to write down a limiting belief that I have right now. I'm on this like healing journey. And one thing that I think is very important for me now is to, you call it reparenting. It's not that my parents did something wrong. It's like, could be like any adult in my surroundings, but write down a limiting belief that I have. For example, I've earlier written down that I feel like I always need to have a source on things that I talk about. I need to be able to show evidence on what I'm saying, which can be good in different situations, but I also want to feel like that I am allowed to speak freely, because I think that my perspective can add to discussions, and also that my opinions are also a result of many different sources that I've consumed throughout my life. And some subjects I am very interested in, so I need to just trust myself more on that. And I want to just identify another one of those limiting beliefs and just rewrite it for myself. And then just trying to remind myself that I can believe that part as much as I have believed the limiting belief before. So I'm trying to like reprogram my brain about it. I also use the Pomodoro technique, so I work quite intensely in 25 minutes and then I take a break for 5 minutes. So right now, don't know if you can see, I have a 5-minute break. And I will just do some stretching, I think, to just give my body something else. It is super scary to do something that not many people around you have done before. Like changing the career path or doing something completely different. But what I have learned is that people are actually a lot more understanding than I thought they would be. And it's not that I thought that they would have a lot of opinions about what I did, but I guess it's like our brain's natural way of just making sure that we stay in the pack. But like, it doesn't really matter if people get why you're doing it. Most of the ones around us just wants us to be happy. And that's it. And they might not understand why we want to do certain things or why we need to do it in the way we do it. But as long as we are happy, they are happy. I'm just so happy that people are curious and want to know things. And one of the questions that I've got is, what is your short-term versus long-term ambitions with your social media channels? I'd say that my short-term ambition is divided into 2 or 3 parts, I'd say. It's both just rediscovering my creative side. I've experienced that I had a lack of that in my previous job. So I want to see if that is something that I would like to work with. The second thing is if this is the platform for me to reach out to as many as possible. Because I've had the ambition earlier in life, and I wrote it in a recent post as well, that I want to somehow help people feel like they can live more true to themselves, that they feel they are taking conscious decisions in how to design their lives and conscious decisions in how they want to live and how they want to act as a person. And I'm not entirely sure which way for me is the best one. I was also exploring if I could, make a career and maybe climb the corporate ladder, and by that have an influence on more people. But I think I am a little bit I want things to go quicker. I don't know if this is the quickest way. I guess we'll find out about it. But I want to just raise the discussion and talk about the importance of feeling that you are living your life and that you are capable of doing that. And the third thing is that I want to see if this is something that I could live from and get a salary from. Speaking of being more true to yourself, for me, freedom is one of the biggest and most important things for me in my life. And having a variety in my work. At least that's what I think now that I want. And I think that social media and YouTube is a great way for me to pursue that dream. And my long-term ambition, I am not completely sure. I'm still exploring that. I would say, though, that, this is a part of building a personal brand. So hopefully I can use this platform for whatever road I take on in the future as well. I really enjoy not having a clear answer to what I'm supposed to do. I like the exploring part of this journey as well. So I don't know if I really have a long-term goal right now. I just want to explore. Now I need to finish this lunch and then I need to go into the city. But I am thinking that I'll bring you with me and we will continue to answer some questions on the road. I also wanted to just say that I think it's just so nice that I am able to just go away on the middle of the day and take a fika with my auntie. That just feels amazing. And even though we are talking about how to drive your own business and entrepreneurship, I still feel like it's such a luxury to just being able to control your own schedule. And I'm also training on filming myself in public. It still feels weird, but I think it will do that for a while. And it's just crushing through that uncomfortable feeling, and I will slowly get more used to it. Actually, I'm not. And I think that's because I know that no matter how this goes, I will be so proud of the fact that I had courage enough to follow my heart and chase that dream. And I've never been good at plans. I think that I just have self-trust enough to know that no matter what I face, I know that I will find a way to get through it. And that's something that I wish everyone could feel. And that's a part of why I'm doing this. Sharing my journey with the ups and downs, with the fails and successes. Because I want you to know that you are capable of living the life that you want. And you are also capable of finding solutions or new directions if things are not going according to your initial plan. I know that you can do it too. So another question that I got from you was how I'm able to relax in the city and things that I do to be able to do that. And I would say that one thing that I do is to put on some just calming music in my headphones. I use noise cancelling as well sometimes, which helps me to just create a calming bubble around me. But then the most important thing for me is to make sure to build a fortress at home where you know that you can relax and where you can gain your energy again. So I'm back home again, and I was thinking that I can answer one more question, which is, how did you manage to understand that this is what you really want to do? And the thing is, I am not completely sure that exactly this is what I want to do. But I know that I want to experiment with my creativity, and I felt like YouTube was a great way to do that. And my hypothesis is that this could be a thing that I could actually work with full time. And I knew that because I listened and because I gave myself time to process and thinking about what things I wanted to change in my life. And I think that this was something that came quite naturally during our travels, since we already took some gap months, or how to call it, when we were away. I think that was the best thing that I could have given myself. Just some time to land and reflect, and giving my brain and my mind some space to process everything that have happened the last couple of years. Because it was when I paused that I realized that I could listen to the voice more clearly. And I really felt that I have missed the creative parts. And it could be, like, I could be creative in my previous job, but it was always like restricted to being creative in how to solve a certain type of problem. And I felt like I wanted to just broaden that creativity a bit more. We need to also understand that it's okay to not know exactly what we want to do. But I think that we have clues on what we like to do, what we think is fun. And we can only figure it out if we start trying and start doing other things to see what ignites our spark. Morning, guys. It's the day after, and I just wanted to tune in on this question, how I solve my life right now financially. Because a lot of you have asked for that, and I've also gotten that question in real life from many friends. I have still some money left from my travels. I've taken a loan to finance this, and then I have a really solid plan B. So I know that if this won't turn out the way that I hope it will, I can always go back to corporate or taking another kind of job. So that helps me to stay grounded. And I also want to mention that once you've given yourself the possibility to get a taste of this life, at least I am very motivated to help myself being able to continue having this kind of life. I also track my expenses to just make sure that I know what I spend my money on and where I can potentially lower my costs. So that also helps me to keep track and have an overview of what I do and what's actually worth spending the money on. And I think by doing that proactively, then you will also have more money that you can save for helping yourself take this kind of gap to just figure out what you want to do. And then I also want to put in a disclaimer that this of course looks very different for everyone. Everyone have different opportunities to take a gap from their work, and to also, like, we have different educations and etc., and it can be harder for you. But I really think and believe that you can always find a way. Then that way might not feel worth it for you. That's another thing, but you can always find a solution so that you can give yourself this time. And I know that you will find it eventually. You just have to look for it. So I hope that answers some of your questions. And if you have any more, then feel free to ask them down below. This is a safe space. You can ask anything. I'm just glad that you're curious and that you find this inspirational. I think that a lot of you can live this kind of life. You just have to find the courage to do it and have the self-trust that you will solve it somehow. I'm so glad that you have stuck around here and that you followed me to the end. I am so happy for every single one of you that are watching these videos. And as I mentioned, I am not monetized yet on this channel. So if you want to see more of this content or think that I have wise things to say or something like that, then please subscribe and watch my other videos, because that helps a lot. And in that way I'll be able to continue making these kind of videos. I hope to see you again. Until then, take care. Bye!